So now we're going to talk about basal bark treatments. And basal bark treatment is another treatment used on non-native trees and shrubs. And it's a treatment that involves applying the herbicide in a penetrating oil to the outer bark of the tree or shrub. And the penetrating oil actually moves the herbicide into the cambium, the living tissue underneath the bark. This is a very simple technique. It involves simply spraying herbicide onto the bark of the tree, and you have to achieve a solid band of complete coverage, 12 to 18 inches high, and usually the band is higher for bigger trees, and it can be closer to that 12-inch measurement for smaller trees or shrubs. And connecting, it's very important to connect that herbicide all the way around for that entire 12-inch to 18-inch height. And one thing that can happen when you're working from one side of a tree is you may leave an untreated spot on the side of part of the tree, maybe the opposite side from which you're working. And so if we move all the way around this tree on the second stem, you'll see there is a small area that did not get treated. So it's important to always check your work and make sure you achieve that coverage all the way around. And if your tree does have multiple stems, you need to treat both stems as if they were a single tree. Basal bark treatment can also be completed using a backpack sprayer. And in fact, for dense stands of invasive trees and shrubs, this is the more common approach. You need to achieve that 12 to 18-inch high band from the ground up, treating all the way to the ground up to that 12 to 18-inch high distance, depending on the size of the tree. And you need to just make sure that you always check your band to make sure it's completely connected and it achieves the necessary height from the ground. If you go too short, if you treat only 4 inches, for many trees and shrubs, you will not achieve the kill that you're looking for. It's very important when you're working in areas that have dense foliage or thickets of briars and you're fighting your way through, that when you're wearing a backpack sprayer, you never bend over at the waist. There's a vent hole on the top of the cap that will release herbicide down your back like a stripe if you do bend over. You can crouch and bend a little bit, but never bend completely over at the waist. And that's basal bark treatment.